at least a 400% ROI for his clients. Welcome to the show, Dr. Hank.
Well, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it. And welcome, everybody. Thanks for showing up today. I think you're going to really love what we have to share with you today.
Awesome. Well, I know I kind of went over some of your accomplishments, but I'd be curious to hear more of your history, kind of how you got to this point.
Yeah, sure. So everybody calls me Dr. Hank because I have my PhD in mental science. And most people go, what is that? And it basically is that our thoughts become things. And so our all powerful thoughts that for the most part, most of us don't manage our thoughts very well. In fact, we have 60,000 thoughts a day. And out of those 60,000 thoughts a day, over 80% of those thoughts are what I call unwanted thoughts. Most people would call negative thoughts. And so because of that, we're unable to really have the things that we want because we're thinking about the things we don't want. And so, but it actually gets worse than that, if you can imagine, that 95% of those thoughts every day are repetitive thoughts. In other words, it's the same old thoughts that we've had. Well, if we continue to have the same thoughts, we continue to have the same life that we have. And so that's why it intrigued me on the mind, and I wanted to understand how it can play, if you will. I don't even use the word work because work is no fun and kind of low vibrational. And so you want to raise up that, and so play and have fun. So I was very interested in how the mind plays and how we can have it play to get what we want. And so I've been blessed to help thousands of individuals, hundreds of companies all around the world. And I'm really now at the stage of my life that I'm here to give back and pay it forward, if you will, to really share the good news on how literally we are the creators of our own experience, Sarah, and that we have the power to have really anything that we want.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm curious to learn more about how that works, like the mindset and how we can, what we think turns into things, like you said. Can you explain more about how that works?
Sure, you bet, you bet. So I've been teaching this, and my teaching, if you will, I've been doing for over 20 years. And I've helped people to build billion-dollar businesses. I've helped people to, entrepreneurs to start and grow their business. I've helped people to overcome disease, illnesses, cancer, MS. Right now, I'm working with someone, playing with someone, coaching with someone on that has MS, and she's already more mobile, and just amazing things are happening in her life, and so, but even though I've been teaching for over 20 years, in the last 5 years, all of science, so this is neuron scientists, quantum physicists, molecular biologists, all of the science disciplines have agreed that the way to create anything in our life, to have anything in our life, is actually 3 steps. And so the first step that they say to create anything in your life, to have your, as I call it, to have your dreams come true, is through your thought. So step number 1 is our thoughts. And then those thoughts, according to the scientists, those thoughts then create energy. What I like to call our emotions, our feelings. And that's why our feelings and our emotions really are the most important thing, because it's really what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and what we're sending out there, if you will, isn't so much what our thoughts are. It's that our thoughts create this energy, and then that energy is sent out. So thoughts create this energy, and this energy then, according to scientists, create matter, matter, and this is why thoughts become things. And so the challenge is that if that's true, and then most people will say, well, that isn't true at all, because I've been asking, I want more money, or whatever the case may be, whatever it is. And to every particle in the universe, to every thought in the universe, to every circumstance, event in our lives, to every person, there is the wanted or the unwanted. And so if you're saying, oh, I want more money, then really what you're saying is, I don't have enough money. And so thus, because that's really what you're feeling. You're not feeling about, oh, I'm so abundant. I got all this money flowing to me. I'm saying, oh, I don't have enough money. I want more money. So even though my words are saying I want more money, really my emotions, my feelings are, I don't have enough money. And then guess what? God gives us more, not money. And this is really the key to build all of your. I assume most of you are entrepreneurs, and that to build your business, 99% of everything that we create is with our thought. The 1% is only inspired action, not action, because a lot of people are out doing, and what do you get? Do. And most people are swimming upstream. They think their desires are up there and they're swimming and they get burnt out. And so I can't tell you how many people that I've had that have been burnt out on life, burnt out on their business, job, whatever, their spouse, their, whatever it is. And that's because they think life is a struggle. Most of us have been brought up, and we're exposed to this every day. You have to work hard. If you go to the Olympics or whatever, that's what do you attribute yourself to? Oh, it's because I worked hard. It isn't because they worked hard. What they did is they were inspired about getting that gold medal. Okay. And that got them inspired to do then inspired action. And so it wasn't really work. They were all fired up about it. They were playing. They couldn't wait to get out there and exercise and do, whatever they're doing in order to be able to get to that objective, that thought. So they're literally doing the thought. So I like to use this example that when people say, oh, those thoughts, my thoughts don't create things, or there must be somebody against me. There must be some cloud over my head. There must be, the devil that, whatever is something against me. And I promise all of you, nobody is working against you. There is nothing in the whole wide universe that is preventing you from doing, and having everything that you want. So I like to look at it this way: is, let's say we wake up in the morning. I have exercises actually to change your thinking process. I have ways to be able to tap in to your subconscious mind, which we can talk about a little bit later. And so I have all these different techniques, and why people have been so wildly successful with them is because thoughts do become things. And when I help them with their thoughts, that they can create it. So let's say that in the morning, people wake up and they do like my joy shop, and it's one of the ways to improve your thinking and to expand your imagination, and to be asking for what you want. Most of us don't even ask for what we want, that we just think we got to keep on working, and then we don't get what we want and wonder why that is. So we're just fired up, and we're talking about our great business and the great day we're going to have, and how we appreciate our lives and everything happening. And so let's call that yellow. So you have this beautiful, think of a yellow paint, okay? And so we have this yellow paint that's here. And, but then during the day, that, somebody cuts you off in traffic, and so then you say, I don't like that. You get in an argument, and I don't like that. I'm mad at this, and the deal goes south, and business goes south. And so what we do is we start focusing our attention, our thought, on the things we don't want. Okay. And so, and I'll share with you a technique on how to actually look at this contrast in our lives on these things that we don't want. But let's call all of those thoughts now during the day, which, remember, about 80% of the thoughts are actually about what we don't want. And let's call that red. So, red paint you have on all the things you don't want that have been happening, whatever, that you start making up in your head on, oh, gee, I hope I don't have bad traffic. I hope I don't get COVID or whatever. And so we're actually praying for what that's our prayer, is our thought every moment of the day. And so you have this red and you have this yellow. And when you mix the red and yellow, you get orange. And so people say, but I didn't ask for oranges, Dr. Hank. And the fact is, yeah, you did. You had a vibration of what you wanted. Then you had a vibration of what you didn't want. And the combination is that it doesn't appear like you had asked for it, but in fact, this is what your overall vibration is, if you will, that energy from your thoughts that has created. And then you will attract whatever that is. I call it a vibrational set point. And so most people have a very low negative, unwanted vibrational set point. So they're attracting a lot of different things they don't want. And I teach people on how to raise that emotional set point so you can start attracting all the things that you do desire.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's really interesting. Do you think that, the quote, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Do you
Yeah.
think that that plays a factor in kind of your thoughts and mindset?
Yeah, it is an awesome question. And there's really two parts to the answer of that. First of all, that we have our, let's call it our higher self. And so people might call that your soul, God, the universe, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's your higher self, and then there's your lower self. And your lower self, I talk about having the committee, that little voice that keeps on chattering away and, in the middle of the night, can't get to sleep. And you're still thinking about that argument or whatever, and on and on and all that. If there's any devil, that's the devil right there. And that's where you shoot ourselves in the foot, if you will, is because we are thinking about, again, things we don't want, like, the deal going south, the argument, whatever. And so really what is the most influential and the only opinion that any of us should ever care about is our higher self's opinion. And so there is this higher power within all of us, and we know it by, and this is just beautiful, like, how can I know who's talking to me? Is it the committee or my higher power? And it's really easy. It's through your feelings. When you feel good, it's the way that literally your higher power, God, universe, whatever, that is communicating with us. And so we're communicating through our energy, sending the signal out, if you will. And so if it's an unwanted signal, then we're going to get more unwanted, because similar attracts similar. And so thus we want to raise up. So your initial question on, the top 5 people, or sometimes people say the top 10 and keep on rotating them, whatever, that, are the most influential in your life. Well, if they become the most influential in your life, you're not living your life the way that you want to. And so the question actually is like another reason on why people are so attached to the outside world. This is an inside job, folks, that the kingdom is within you. In fact, I wrote a book called Your Royal Path to Riches and how to tap into the kingdom within us. And so it's an inside job. And for our thoughts and our feelings, that we literally it can attract anything that we want. What we have a tendency to do, because we've been brought up, we have beliefs that think this is true, that, we got to be the way other people are. We have to act this way. And then especially we have to react to when something happens that we don't like. Most people call wrong, when something wrong happens, whatever, what we don't like, that now we're going to go stomp on it. And so I'll give you a perfect example, that breast cancer, that people say, we're going to stomp on breast cancer. What has happened with breast cancer the last 20 years? It's just exploded. And men get breast cancer too. And why is it? Well, whatever we focus our attention on expands. So what have we been focusing our attention on? This cancer, it's right away, Now we're people, when they hear it, they think, oh gosh, I hope I don't get cancer. And guess what? That starts attracting into your life dis-ease, and could be cancer. And so it's not some, thing flying around the air that you get, is cancer. That no, that cancer is actually dis-ease within our own body. It's created by our own small little committee, our smaller self in this committee that is talking. So we have all been conditioned to just react and be in this reactive mode of the world out there, what I call what is. So, what's happening right now in your life, it's old news. I already shared with you how everything plays out. Our thoughts create energy that creates matter. What you're looking at is matter, your current experience right now, and it's from your previous thought. So quit taking so much. You think it's reality? It's not reality. For example, I'm going to turn my camera. That if you look with your senses there and at my view there, that the world is flat. Okay. And so by golly, the world's flat. Well, all of us know the world isn't flat. Okay, the world is round. But my senses show me that it is. So actually, and in fact, every experience, you can have 20 people look at the same experience, doesn't matter what it is, somebody on stage, whatever, and you ask them their opinion, what they said. Everybody has a little bit different response to what they had said. Okay. So what is, and we quit taking so much value into, the deal went south, that, and I'll help you in a second with how to manage that and so instead, so the answer is to your question is, first of all, I don't want you to rely on anybody except for your higher self, your higher power. And because that's the only opinion that really matters at all for you to be on your lighted path, and when you feel good. And then, is it good to, have great people around you? Absolutely. And especially because a lot of our beliefs are around the people that you're with. So is it good to have people around you? You bet. And people, for all of us, people help us to actually expand our growth because of their different opinions and perspective. So they help us to better understand what we desire. So they're all great. And do you want to rotate up on as far as friends? Sure. People that are more fun, are happier, that you enjoy being with, and you bet. Let's go have a party because we're really here to skip along and to be able to enjoy ourselves. So I shared with you that I'd give you a little answer there on, or technique on this contrast, these things that we don't want. All of us will have contrast. So I'm in a situation where, you would think, gee, nothing happens to me. I got stuff happening to me all the time. I just broke my ankle in the Atlantic Ocean when I was swimming in it. And it's all fun. See, but most people say, oh, that's terrible. Nothing's terrible. That I just enjoy the experience. Okay. So we are all going to have contrast, things we don't want in our life forevermore. And it's a blessing. And the reason why it's a blessing is because when we have contrast, this is actually how we can approach it. So let's say a deal goes south. And so you were banking on this big client, it was great. And so what you say to yourself is, this is what I don't want. And then you turn the other cheek. And Christ actually talked about turning the other cheek. I always thought, if my dad slaps me on one side of the cheek, I turn my other cheek so he can slap it on that side. But that's not it. I turn my attention. So it's about turning my attention, my focus, my thinking, and turn my attention. And I ask. So I say, this is what I don't want. And I don't put any energy into it. And then I ask, what do I want? And wow, all of a sudden you'll start getting answers. Wow, I want great clients. I want deals to go smooth and easy and close on time. And I want to attract more business and have more money and easy money, easy life, and you just start saying all of these wonderful things, because literally when you're looking at what you want, that God will give you these amazing thoughts in order to create your energy, to raise your vibrational set point, to be able to attract all the business, all the easy deals, the easy money that you want.
Oh, wow. So kind of like would you call it like manifestation, sort of like, is
We
that
all
the right
create
word for that?
Yeah, we're all creators of our own experience. We're really co-creators of our own experience. And so again, that's us and then our higher power, whatever you want to call that. And so, and most people call that God. And so it's a co-creative. You do the asking. The Father does the work, not us. The Father does the work. And then we have to do the receiving. And where I help people is to, in the asking, what is your thinking? Okay, in the asking, and then also to be able to receive, because most people aren't in the state of receiving. That, like for example, that why do the gambling, casinos, why do they always make money on it? Well, most people walk in saying, "I have this much money that I can lose." Well, you just lost your money. Okay. I walk in and I say, I love blackjack and I'm going to win blackjack. I just walk those tables and I feel where the good positive energy is, sit down, play. And all I do is double my money and then I walk. And so I have $200, $2,000, whatever, and I walk in, and so sometimes I'm only playing for 7 minutes, but man, it was a glorious fun 7 minutes. Walk out with double my money. Yeah. And so we're so resistant. We're really resistant. Like, oh, that's not true. It's too good to be true. Then you're right, and it'll be too good to be true for you.
Mm.
And so people are all the time shooting themselves in the foot, saying, that's not possible. For another great example is lottery. I win all the time on the lottery, and I have a driver, and he was with me, and we went in the grocery store. I wanted to get something, and I gave him $10, and I said, hey, "Go play." And he go, "Oh, that's just wasting money, and it's your money." I said, "Oh, wasting the money?" I said, "You don't have the right attitude. We're going to win on this." Puts in $10, gets a little scratch off for $10, scratches off, wins $50. I said, "Keep it." He goes, "Oh my God." He's never won before because he never was open to it. And I'm not implying, gee, let's all go out and make money just on scratch offs, okay, or lottery or whatever. But it is our mindset on that, literally our thoughts create that energy that creates the things, and whatever things that you want. And most of us are thinking about things we don't want, and that's why we get so many of the things we don't want.
Mm. Yeah, those are good points. Almost like, well, with the cancer example, it's like if you're or even COVID, whatever it might be, if you're
Sure.
fearing something or anxious about something or thinking about something, then that's what you get.
Bring it to me. Yeah. And that's why. So here's the good news too, is our fears are very powerful. Okay. Oh God, I hope I don't get, COVID, whatever. They're very powerful, lots of energy. And so some of our fears are extremely powerful, but it's only the second most powerful energy. It's not the first most powerful energy. The most powerful energy is love. So when you start loving yourself, loving and blessing everybody, because everything, the contrast, love, blessing the deals that goes up, blessing the slow business on that, and just saying, I bless it, and now what do I want? Remember that, we need to go and turn the other cheek on that now we can start living the life of our dreams. And so as you're in, and that love raises your vibrational set point to where now you start attracting just incredible things. I have miracles happening to me all the time. All the time. And in fact, if you want to, if people would want to connect on, I have a group called Angel Connections. And so just understand, angel is actually a loving energy from God to us. And but it's easier for us humans to think angels and wings and everything. And so like all those that have walked before us are still here, and we can call on them. And, I'm with my grandmother, I'm with my mom, all kinds of people because we have eternal life. And so they're there, they can actually guide us and everything. And that's a whole nother story. But angel connections when I have a thought, an angelic thought that comes in, that I put it up there, and then everybody else that is a member of that group can put that up there. But see, if we will just more focus on, like angelic thoughts, okay, that you'll start attracting more and more angelic thoughts and angelic people and circumstances and events, because whatever we focus our attention on grows. And we've all proven it to ourselves, because when we've gotten mad, like I love using the example, Uncle Joe, one of our relatives, we all hate him. He's always the drunk at the, Christmas or whatever. That Uncle Joe is awesome, man. Uncle Joe provides that contrast, and we have the power to change Uncle Joe. You have the power to change anybody. But see, you've been taught, you can't change other people. And that just isn't true. So I'll give you one quick little example of that. My wife, Sharon, that she's going to introduce me to her parents. And as we're driving there, she starts telling me about her previous experiences with her dad and her boyfriends and husbands and whatever, okay? And so, and his name is Sledge, like Sledgehammer, so pretty tough. So she, because of those past history of experiences, tells me, my dad is not going to be nice to you. He's not going to call you by your name. He's not going to shake your hand. He's not going to, we're going to be basically in and out of there in 10 minutes. And so as she's saying that, I realize I can't change her beliefs, but I can change my beliefs. And so I started saying, oh man, this Sledge guy is going to be great. He's going to, call me by my first name. We're going to have a great conversation. That he's going to look me in the eye. That we're going to be there a long time. We're going to just have a blast. So when I walk into the house, I become irresistible because I have this energy going on me. Okay, so Sledge, he kind of, because he hasn't been impacted yet by this energy, so he's kind of looking down, already mad, and then when he reaches up, he kind of and kind of looks at me, and stuff. Well, within 5 minutes we're talking, and pretty soon he's got his arm around me. He's taking me to his office, showing me his guns. I hope he doesn't shoot me, and showing me all this stuff, and we're there for an hour and a half. Had a super time, just like the way that I wanted it, okay? And so we get in the car, and Sharon says to me, oh, man, I'm really concerned. And I go, what? What's wrong? And she goes, well, it's my dad. And I go, what? What's wrong? She goes, he was just too nice to you. He must be sick or something. Okay, he wasn't sick or anything. So we literally can change it. And so if you don't like something about what somebody does, see, we make the button. Don't push my button. We're the ones making the damn button. I hope so and so doesn't bring this up about whatever. Well, you're just making that big shiny button there. So when you meet that person, they say, "Hey, what about?" They ask the very thing you don't want, because you're thinking about what you don't want. So I encourage all of us to think more about what we do want. Breathe in deeply. That if I can help you with anything, help you with your business, your health, relationships, whatever, that I would be so honored to be able to help you to be, do, and have everything that you desire.
Awesome. And if people want to learn more about you, where's the best place for them to go?
Yeah, you bet. So you can go to my website if you want to check me out, if you will. It's Dr. Hank, for Dr. Hank, Dr. Hank. And then my last name is Seitz, S as in Sam, EITZ. So SEITZ.com. But also just do Dr. Hank at drhank.biz, B-I-Z, and email me or call me. 214-753-7204. So if you are inspired right now and you want to be, do, and have more of your dreams and for your dreams to come true, then if you have that inspiration right now, do it right now. and literally I'll call you back, I'll answer you, whatever, that you'll see that. And why do I have plenty of time? Because I say I have plenty of time. Most people say, oh, I don't have enough time. What are they asking for? More, not enough time. Or I'm too
Mm.
busy. And so what happens in their life? They become too busy. Okay. So we have to be watch what we think about, but more so, just monitor your feelings. And as long as you're feeling good, you're on your lighted path. And just imagine for all of you, just close your eyes, breathe in deeply. And now just imagine that you're walking down this joyous path of joy, and the doors of abundance are swinging wide open for you right now. And they are, my friends, and you can be on that lighted path.
Oh, awesome. I appreciate it. And you can also, if you need those links, you can go to thesarahstjohn.com/, Dr. Hank. I'll have the links as well as links to your books as well, because you have several
Oh,
of
good.
them. So,
Yeah. 15 books out there, so I think you'll find one of those books will be good for all of you. Thank you so much. Well, Sarah, I really appreciate it, and all of you. I appreciate you. God bless to all, and know that everything that you want is coming your way.
well, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.